What's going on, YouTube? You already know we have to start the year off with our original P-Funk Rider. Heading to the West Coast, I'm gonna need all the OGs in LA to stand up for this one. Don't forget to get the likes up and hit the comments. Let's get right into it. Now, Raymond Washington, along with several other Crips, attacked Sylvester Scott and a couple others. This resulted in the help of Scott forming the first blood gang in America, the PIRUs. It started out being a group that protected each other before becoming a revengeful clique. By the 1970s, it expanded from PIRU Street to east on Lime Street, all the way to the south, Luther Park. Scott would become great for the set. With his many attributes, from hunting down south with his father, he developed a mean sharpshooter badge. That would just be another add-on to his confidence. With just him and another Crip walking through Crip neighborhoods chasing wreck, every Crip knew exactly who he was, and they would sit around and talk about him. They wanted to get rid of him bad because they just couldn't get the drop. Man, you had Crips even said that they'd rather war side by side with him instead of going to war against him. He was just that damn good. Crips knew if they were known for pitting them down, their respect status would go up. So just imagine guys that you never talked to, never had a conversation with, you never even knew they exist, wanted to take you out. That's how it was. That's very dangerous. That's a dangerous way to live. He became a top gunner in the 1970s and 80s. It's said that he hit at least one Crip from every Crip hood in Compton, with one of them being Stanley Tookie Williams. He didn't even want to kill Tookie. It was just target practice, taking out his legs, showing his aim on a moving target. He was just tired of just taking lives. He got a kick out of crippling dudes, handicapping them, putting them in a wheelchair forever. Yeah, so if you were a Crip during the time, you were at least getting shot if you wasn't pistol whipped. But he would spare many. As Tookie Williams mentioned, put him would pull up, just point his gun at you with a grin and just stare at you and then drive away, showing that he had your fate in his hands. This man definitely loved riding out. Guys were like, yo, you done enough for the set, just fall back. He didn't even have to put in work, but he had a strong love for the game. He for sure loved moving on new faces, welcoming them to the NFL, pistol whipping the little homies from other sets. He was very notorious for frontline and standing up to the Crips. Even though he was outnumbered, he wasn't folding for nothing. He would rather go out like a G. That's the only way he wanted the story to be told. You even had well-known killers in the neighborhood that used to just say, PUDDIN, take things too far. In that lifestyle, he would constantly have to switch vehicles. He would do things like put in work using his girlfriend's vehicles. One point, he was pushing around a cherry red Corvette. Yes, the crack era treated him well also. But he only could stun in it for a little while. When ops spotted him in it, he was pissed off because he had to get rid of it. But constantly switching cars was something that came with the lifestyle. There's stories of cars getting hit up thinking it was his. Sometimes it would be the same car, but by that time he already sold it to someone. A very important rule in the streets is to never buy a car off of a dude that's in the streets, especially if he's out there wrecking the way PUDDIN was. Now, 1986 was one of his best years. He was a Jerry curl dripping hustler. When his crack operation was doing numbers, he still managed to run down on other hustlers from different neighborhoods and rob them. He did business with dirty cops throughout his run, and law enforcement knew he was one of the shot callers, so there's times they would scratch his back and he would scratch theirs. He knew, even though he had connections with law enforcement, that if he was caught up in something, he would eventually have to sit. The same group of cops would turn on him and end up busting him during the drug deal. The cops, of course, would keep the money and would take him into custody. He would end up getting his revenge on the cops by cooperating with law enforcement to take them down. Now, even though people are going to have their opinions anyway, he was a full-time gangster. A lot of people seem to forget what a gangster really is. A gangster is a no-good person. A gangster does foul things. If he sold work and folded people, then what morals do we hold him to? One thing about him is that his reputation with women got him violent throughout the years, and he would have a scrape case under his belt. That's never cool, but let me ask you something. Without that scrape on his name, does that make him a better person? But Joelle, the first lady of Death Row, was one of his chicks. Now, you know how rocky relationships get, but this wasn't an ordinary relationship. They would consistently have fights and hands would be put on each other. It was an incident during an argument when a gun was pulled out and they were tussling. Next thing you know, the gun went off. Yes, he was hit in the chest. That chest shot almost caused him to check out. He told police it was an accident, but she would end up getting arrested for the incident. After 4 months, she would be bailed out, allegedly by Suge Knight, to complete her vocals on legendary albums of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. I heard guys from the set was going to situate her, but he put a stop to it. They had a lot of love for him, and he had a lot of love for her, so he had to step in. But that chest shot put him in a wheelchair for a while, so that set him down for a little bit, and maybe saved his life. Some will say that that bullet from 1993 will cause his death in 2006, but he would pass away from health issues. There's not too many people that could say that they survived gangbanging for over 30 years at the level he was. I'm talking about running towards death every day during the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. But that's all I got for tonight. Let's run it up this year. Hit the like button for me. If you like this video, then you'll like my last 3 videos, so tune in. Don't forget to share this video, show love. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. I'm out.